What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast. Season 2 is in full gear, and so we are super excited for what we got going on this season. Just to let you know what that means, we still have our weekly Prepisodes where we discuss movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. I got my buddy POPpaGoss on those each and every week. Those drop on Mondays at 6 a.m. Also, we have our Creators Conversations. This is where we're interviewing people from the business and beyond to discuss what they do to create and how they create their art. So be on the lookout for that. We're also doing our monthly watch-alongs where we pick a movie to watch. We live stream our conversation on YouTube. This week, we've got the Spookie Okie back to prepare for Ice Cream Man dropping in theaters, the new Eli Roth film. So we're going to be talking about the original Ice Cream Man. We're going to be talking about Thanksgiving, Hostel, and Cabin Fever from Eli Roth. We hope you also check out our website at moviesthatmakeyoupodcast.com. There you can see all of our social links. You can listen to the podcast. You can watch the podcast. We also have our merch store. You can find tons of merch for Movies That Make You and our friends. We also have a link to our letterbox where you can see all the movies that we watch in preparation for the new releases, but also the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. So before we get to this week's episode, let's check out what we got coming up on the Movies That Make You podcast. On Friday, we've got a special creators conversation with the director Mike P. Nelson. We had such a fun time talking to him about his films, including the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, as well as the remake of Wrong Turn. He's got a new movie coming out. Talk a little bit about that. But this conversation has some surprises, so you'll want to check it out on Friday, 2 p.m. Central. Next week, we've got a very special episode featuring Jeff Barker, father to Curry Barker. We had him on a creators conversation. He's joining the podcast for a Prepisode for It. It is being re-released in a 40th anniversary cover. So in order to celebrate that, we are going to be discussing his top 5 favorite Stephen King film adaptations. So we're looking forward to that conversation. We hope you are too. Look, after that, we're going to be talking about all the Insidious films in preparation for Insidious Out of the Further with a brand new guest, Keith Cantrell. We met him at OKC Horror Con. He had some incredible insights in our Q&A sessions. So we're excited to have him on the podcast for the first time. And he also did the music that we used for our promo for Evil Dead Burn. The week after that, we've got Animation Invasion. We're going to be prepping for Coyote vs. Acme. And we're going to be joined by our special guest, Jason Bynes of ATXFX, visual effects lead for Iron Lung. We're going to be talking about a host of films that have live action plus cartoon animation ingrained together. So we're excited to have those conversations. The week after that, we've got Corey from Wilkie's Music and Movies channel over on YouTube and Instagram. And we're going to be discussing a ton of bank heist films in preparation for the new film that's dropping that Friday, How to Rob a Bank. We hope you'll join us. Hope those episodes excite you. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast. Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this episode. I did want to give a little disclaimer up front due to the subject matter of Ice Cream Man being a little bit more gory and the Eli Roth films we discussed. I just wanted to give you a quick disclaimer to let you know we are going to get into some of that gore, some of that discussion. It might be a little bit more intense than what we normally talk through, but we have a really fun time with Matt. So let's get to it.
With Vin Diesel. Maybe Ron Perlman will be in it.
Perlman. Well done. Well done. And we are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I am Sprang. I'm joined by my fearless co-host who doesn't know how to pronounce Ron Perlman's name, Mr. POPpaGoss. What's up,
Oh,
buddy?
you forgot to add best friends with Theo Rossi.
He is. He
Best
is
friends
very.
with
They
Theo
are.
Rossi.
They are super tight. Both these guys are super tight with Theo.
And as you already heard, the beautiful, luscious voice of our good friend, the Spookie Okie, Matt. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Doing
Always
well.
love having Matt on.
Yes.
I always love coming on. It's always a good time. We love talking movies. All
That's right.
This
kinds
is
of
good
movies.
timing too. Like this is a good week to.
Mm-hmm.
We all just got done with OKC Horror Con last weekend.
Which, by the
Yep.
way, these two guys hosted a shit ton of panels and they killed it.
It was
well,
awesome.
we didn't kill anyone, but
I think they wanted to kill somebody after one of the panels. I won't say
Yeah.
which one.
Yeah. I don't know that that
no,
was...
it was a lot of fun.
It was good. It was a good time.
We got a lot of cool opportunities and really hoping we get to do more in the future.
Absolutely.
I have a feeling you guys will be able to do more. I've been reading some feedback. I've only seen 2 negative reviews.
Well, Well,
One
that's
of them
so
was
funny
about how-
because I think I saw 2 total reviews and one.
No, there's a couple. You got to sift through all the other stuff, but yeah, there was a couple on there. People said they really liked it.
No, my favorite was I'm trying to think of her name. It was on a Facebook post that I put in the Oklahoma Horror Facebook group, but
Right.
she said she goes to Frightmare a lot, and she said we did a really great job. So that was like,
yeah.
because I mean, those guys at Frightmare, those dudes they're pros. They've been doing this we're actually going to have one of them on the show soon, but.
Yep. Mr. James Wallace.
Yeah, James Wallace, the king.
Little tease. We're going to have him on for a creator's conversation because he creates experiences, man. It's his passion and it's love.
Yeah,
I
you
love
guys
it.
see what we'll have to do is I'm going to have to take over and I'm going to have to interview you guys on your own show, talking about how creative you are.
Yes.
All right. That sounds fun.
You know, because you guys will get a couple more. You guys will get a couple more panels under your belt, and
Yeah.
Yeah, James.
then you'll be too big time for me, and you'll be like, "Yeah, we can't talk to you anymore."
Well, James Wallace,
hanging
that
with all these
guy's
people.
done like he got to do the Fan Expo Dallas Back to the Future panel last year, which had like the
Oh,
biggest
man.
Back to the Future reunion they've ever had. So he got to host that one, which is
Crazy.
Right?
with my girl Elizabeth Shue.
She's
Love
so
you,
ugly.
baby.
Yes.
I didn't like her at all in Cocktails.
She watches our show, just so everyone knows.
Well, and it's funny because that
Fantasy.
Karate Kid came up in our panel with Lauren Lavera, and that's like
Another
another
Karate Kid.
Yeah, man, that's another one where it was just one of those movies as a kid, man. Allie.
Speaking of Lauren Lavera, first ever panel that she was our first guest, and can I just say again, like how wonderful she was like the highlight of the whole weekend for me, just because I've already been a huge fan of hers, but just how welcoming she was and how nice and sweet she was.
Yeah, she was
willing to collaborate, and she really, I think we're one of the first times that she's been by herself at a panel, because most of the conventions, they always have, 3 or 4 Terrifier people with her.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure from the ones I've seen on YouTube and stuff, I'm pretty sure we're like the first one where she was completely by herself. So I think she really dug that too, because she got to kind of like shine and talk about what she loves rather than, play off of everybody else. But yeah, just again, so sweet. And I'm very thankful that she was our very first panel ever. So
yeah,
and
that one.
Just quick, just a plug, that interview is up on our YouTube channel, so go check it out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And watch that interview. It was a lot of fun.
Love
Good.
it,
Matt.
Love
yeah,
it,
that one was.
learn it.
She was one of my favorites to meet. I mean, that's one of the. I was telling you guys, that's one of the interactions I'll never forget, because I was having her sign a poster for a movie she did. I think it was before Terrifier. She said, called The Fetus.
Oh yeah,
and she'd done it so long ago. She was signing it, and she goes,
"Yeah,
what was my character's name?" And
I forgot about that.
I stood there for a minute, and I was like, I don't remember. And she goes, I think it was Alyssa. And I was like, you know what? Just sign it, Alyssa, and then under it, just sign it, maybe, and then with the question mark.
Do you have that close by, Matt?
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if it'll.
Yeah, show the audience.
We got to show the audience this magic.
When Matt came up to me Friday night and showed me that, I couldn't breathe. I was like,
yes.
How's that?
Yes, that's so great. Stay spooky.
Alyssa, maybe.
Yeah, and she saw. I didn't even. I was so thrown off by the Alyssa. Maybe I didn't even realize she may have noticed what my hat said and just said, because I had my Spookie Okie hat on.
It's a lovely hat.
She
by
signed
the way.
it, "Stay spooky." So do what?
Yeah, lovely hat. You can get it at moviesthatmakeyoupodcast.com.
Yes,
Support
yes,
Matt.
you
can.
Support Matt.
Yes, somebody can. Somebody I know designed it. It's pretty awesome. There's a pretty
really
kick-ass
is a
red
nice
one on
hat.
there too.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
a
sporting the
super nice
POPpaGoss hat. You can get that there as well.
Yeah,
And
there's a whole
the Movies That Make You Scream T-shirt. You can get that on there as well.
There's
I
also
need to get
some
that.
other.
I don't know that
fun
I've seen
stuff
that
on
one
there.
before.
Yeah,
Does it got the phone on it?
Yep.
Yeah. So he that was one of the first ones that Sprang made. I don't remember if I've seen you wear it on the podcast though.
No,
I've seen it on the thing. Yeah, that's a good shirt.
Yeah, it turned out good. I wore it at the Frightmare when I met the Screencast.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'll hopefully. I don't know if I'll have time this week. Maybe tomorrow night or this weekend. But I would like to. I still got to do my Frightmare video. I haven't even put that together. That's gonna take me a while. I also got to do my. I really want to do my OKC horror video, but that's gonna mostly be just about hosting the panels and stuff anyway. So, but yeah, good time, great panels. Good time with friends. Matt and Vic, they and their son Braden came too Friday night and was flexing his entrepreneurial knowledge and
yes, he was
trying to get. Matt had to kind of push him and nudge him, but yeah, he was doing great. He was mingling with people and showing his business cards.
Yeah, so he's doing good. I'm super proud of that kid. That kid is despite his father, he's doing pretty good right now.
No, it's been really fun. I mean, from first contacting you, I think you contacted me first on Instagram last year, but just from then to now, really awesome friendship. Matt has been such a huge support system, not only for this podcast, but for me personally.
Absolutely.
But it's just always fun when we get all of our horror crew together, especially like Brendan came up Saturday, the Horror Green Book. He drove all the way up from Dallas.
Chris was there.
Chris was there Friday and Saturday. Man, I don't think I got a picture, but he posted some on his Instagram. He dressed up, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Martin, not of Coldplay, but Laser Wagon.
Yes.
He dressed up as Ben Schramer, and that's a deep cut from Halloween 4.
Yes, it is.
When he said he was doing it, I thought he was kidding. He made the sticker, but then he showed up dressed as him Saturday. And during our second panel of the day, I almost had to turn around because I was out in the crowd with the mic, and he walked by in his bench and he stared through the window, and we made eye contact. I couldn't stop laughing internally. I was like,
"Oh, I know."
I wish I would have snapped a picture, but I didn't want to be rude to the crowd. So
I think I posted it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Ben Tramer was at OKC Horror Con. No. Shout out to Laser Wagon. He was huge on Friday for us, or not Friday. I'm sorry, Saturday for the Lauren Lavera panel. He also posted He posted that panel already on his channel.
Yeah.
And it's been getting a lot of traction. So
yeah,
it's cool that he shared it with the world.
Horror Green Book posted yesterday, and he put on the Sons of Anarchy panel, which fun story we didn't get to do, and then the Sons of the Lost Boys panel.
Yeah, Lost Boys panel was great.
Yeah. And Lost Boys panel was really good.
That was another person this weekend that was really, really fun to meet. My family got to meet Jason Patrick and talk to him, and we told him he was one of our first panels, and he was like, "Oh, I hope we did a good job." I was like, "You guys did great." Billy Worth was he's kind of hippie-ish now, but he's the cool he was even watching the other panels. He came downstairs and was just supporting everybody.
Yeah.
All great panel. The Sons of Anarchy panel was a lot of fun. I mean, the fans really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sprang and I really prepared for that panel, and we didn't get to ask a single question. We're not really butthurt, but we are.
But it was just the way it was done, right?
But it was also for the Sons of Anarchy fans, and I wouldn't call myself a diehard fan, so I'm glad that we actually went over our time. They were running late to their photo op, but great panels, great time with friends, really fun. We'll tell you more about it when I do my video, and we'll be releasing in the coming week or two as many of the panels as we were able to record. So we will put those out so you guys can watch them.
Be releasing periodically. Like I said, Lauren's already up at the time of this podcast releasing, so check that out. She was great.
That was a really good. And I'm telling you, I think she was one of my favorites. My favorite part of the whole entire weekend was meeting Derek Mears, because he is just, apart from being, involved in a whole bunch of franchises.
Right.
Predator, Michael Myers. I had no idea he was Swamp Thing, but now I got to go watch Swamp Thing. He is 1,000% a fan. So when he's answering questions, he is, he's into it. He knows what he's talking about. And I met him Friday night, and I was just talking to him and telling him that my wife was she would walk in through the room, and she's not a huge horror fan, but she was watching. She's seen enough of Friday the 13th that was like, she's like, Jason doesn't take prisoners. What are you talking about? So I told him that, and he was like, okay, I know you've already got an autograph. He goes, if she comes back out with you, bring her back by, and I will explain that to her because there's a reason behind that.
Nice.
And he literally spent like 10 minutes explaining to me and her why that scene is in that movie.
Yeah.
And my wife walked away going, that's one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
She was like, he took the time, and he had a line of people waiting to pay him, and he'd look over there and then just finish taking the time to explain that to us. So, it was super cool.
Yeah, and like his remake, like that remake of Friday the 13th is considered one of the better remakes. I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I worked at the video store and I rented it when it came out on DVD. And I just remember being like, what the heck? Because like the first 20 minutes, like they get into it and everyone's like, spoiler, everybody dies like in the first 20 minutes. And I was like, dang, dude, are they like, is this movie almost over already? And then like that's just getting you prepped for the rest of it. And there's some ridiculous kills, but they're really fun. Like the girl in the lake in the boat hits her head on and like cracks her head open. Part made me laugh, but
man,
he's just a really nice guy, and he gets returning people. Like he was just here at OKC Horror. I think he's been here 3 times now, but he was here like 3 years ago for OKC Horror, and they had a bunch of other Jasons too. And I know our friends Crafty Creepers, they are huge fan, like they're big Jason fans, but that's one of their favorite Jasons because he's like so genuine. He's always, he has returning people who always want to talk to him regardless if they've gotten an autograph already.
Right.
But yeah, he was really cool. And I have to give him a huge shout out because, originally he apparently has in his contract that he's not supposed to be videoed. But after meeting us and like really loving what we were doing and being respectful to him and all that, he was like, yeah, I don't care if you put like, that's awesome. He's like, I even offered to like send him an edited version so he could review it. But he's like, no, I trust you guys. He's like, you guys have been nothing but respectful to me. And he was genuine. Like you'll see it when we post that one. Yeah. He's like loving the questions. He gets to like actually, he's very animated. He gets to be himself. And that was really cool. So I think I agree. I think Derek Mears was another surprise highlight for me because I wasn't knowing what we were going to expect. The one that I was most nervous about ended up being pretty spot on. So that was the Sons of Anarchy one. So, but it wasn't because of who I thought it was going to be, Ron Perlman. It was because of somebody else. Which you'll find out soon. And we already mentioned him like 3 times in this episode. So,
well, you know what?
It rhymes with Leo
and I don't got it.
And Fosse. Leo Fosse.
Yeah. It just made me want to scream, like the Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson song makes me want to scream.
I love that song.
But you know what else makes me scream? Ice
cream.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Love that lead in.
And we are here because we've got Ice Cream Man, the remake, Eli Roth directed, gonna be bonkers. It drops this Friday, and we're gonna talk about a couple of the Eli Roth films and also Ice Cream Man from 1995. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. That's why we got Matt here, because he loves ice cream.
I love ice cream. I do. I love Eli Roth.
Yes.
Best.
I love Clint Howard.
Clint Howard, he's so lovable.
That movie, I've never seen the original Ice Cream Man before until about 2 nights ago.
Nice.
Yep, same here.
Holy mackerel.
Yes. Before we start talking about the movie, let's talk about ice cream. Matt, what's your go-to flavors? Give me your top 3.
My top 3 are cookie dough ice cream. I love cookie dough ice cream. I'm kind of a plain guy, so I love vanilla. I know it's kind of boring, but I love vanilla.
Best.
And then as a kid, I loved bubblegum ice cream.
Ooh.
Nice.
Even though that bubblegum was the absolute worst bubblegum. And
I don't
once
think
you
they
bit
even
into
make that anymore.
I don't think they do either. But
I think it was because it was in Ice Cream Man. They were like, "No, we can't.
We can't."
They're like, "Did you see what happened to Clint Howard?
This is where the bubblegum ice cream came from."
Right.
Good grief.
Yeah, we can't do that anymore. But the pieces were like that big.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
you only got, it was a super small piece of gum and you chew it twice and then it's just, you got there's no taste or anything left. But
Yep.
yeah, those are my top 3. How about you guys?
All right, Josh, how about you?
So yeah, I'm kind of like Matt. I'm pretty plain. I loved when I was growing up. My grandma in Iowa, she used to make homemade vanilla ice cream like every summer. They had a pool in their backyard until they filled it later on, but we would go in the summertime or whatever, and we'd swim. My grandma would, it took a long time to make because they had those old ice cream makers, and you had to put all the stuff in, the salt, all that stuff. And then it would spin around real slow, and it took probably, I don't even know, 6 hours to make or whatever. But once it was done, man, my grandma knew I loved it, so she'd make like little individual Tupperware ones in the freezer so I could just grab one. There's a really tasty one from, what is it, Bluebell ice cream, and it's called Bride's Cake. It's a newer flavor, but shnikes, man, I just saw a big tub of it at Walmart earlier, and I almost bought it, but I was like, no, I'm trying to behave myself because, but it's so good. Yeah, Bride's Cake, because it's got like bits of real
Bride
in it.
It has what? Mice?
Real bride in it.
Oh, real
bride.
bride. It's got bits of Uma Thurman in it.
That kind of tracks with the
Samara
Eli
weaving.
Roth, the whole Eli
Samara
Roth
weaving.
thing. Yeah, right.
No, it's really good.
Flavor.
It's
Third flavor, Josh. What you got?
third flavor. Oh, pretty much anything with like, I really like Oreo ice. Like if you grind Oreos, I don't like when it's like a whole Oreo in there. Like it needs to be like mashed up and mixed in there, but it adds a nice touch to the vanilla.
Blizzard.
Yeah, like a Blizzard. Yeah.
So my favorites, I'm gonna lean in, is cookie dough. So I'm there with you. But then I go mint chocolate chip.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And then I go cookies and cream, where it's like the bits of.
Dang.
Oh yeah, cookies and cream is.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. So now we're going to rate off the results what the top. No, that we're not doing that for this episode.
Cookie
Sorry.
dough is number 1.
Yeah, cookie dough because it was on 2 lists. Hey, is Zeke still there? Because he's really good at those math problems.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, let's get into
one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, I know, right?
Freaking Zeke to explain. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, "What is he talking about?" That's incredible. That he's like, "Well, if there's 5, then you times it times 10, then it would be on 5 lists, but then you narrow it down." I was like, "What?" I thought I was smart enough for this show.
Yeah.
Nope. Just eyes, your eyes glazed over.
Yeah, Zeke's just too smart, man.
Yep.
Smart kid.
For sure. So let me give a little bit of summary. There's a child, and his favorite ice cream man gets gunned down in the street in the middle of the neighborhood by a gang. And the kid gets shot in the head, ends up spending a lot of his life in a mental institution because of the damage to his head. When he gets out, what does he want to do with his life? He wants to become an ice cream man. But instead of just making regular ice cream, he wants to make ice cream made from human body parts and bugs and gross stuff. So the whole movie is him just getting as gross as possible, sticking his hand in the ice cream and touching the ice cream and then getting it to people. I'm like, this is the most disgusting thing.
Germs.
And then there's these 3 kids that figure it out. They take pictures and they're trying to solve the mystery, and everything ends up coming to a head. And, Clint Howard's great as this deranged ice cream man. And it leans into the goofy and the bizarre. And it's just one of those cult movies, those fun cult movies that are they make no sense, and they're not going to be for every audience, but it just is wild.
Whoa.
It's just wild
He's
and
so
crazy.
excited.
Yes, I am very excited.
He's very excited. He has a whole refrigerator full of ice cream. He's just going to go gorge himself when we're done.
Yes.
I want ice cream right now.
Yes. All right.
And also throw in there, it actually is not a direct remake like the new one.
Sure.
But it's very similar.
Fair enough. It's not a remake. It's
if
just
you haven't seen the 95 one, definitely go.
Definitely check it out.
If you've seen everything you want to see in life,
yeah,
and you have time to watch Ice Cream Man, Go throw it. It's on Tubi for free.
I mean, yeah, 100%. It's for. I didn't pay for it. Let's make that. I didn't. It was. I streamed it for free.
I'd have been mad if I paid.
Hey, Matt, so give us your thoughts. Ice Cream Man, 1995. Let's hear it.
Thoughts on the Ice Cream Man, 1995. Well, I'm still trying to figure out why. Do we know why they killed the Ice Cream Man at the beginning? Or is it just like random, just like a random drive-by? Like, didn't they jump out, like, they just jumped out of a van and just...
They just drove down. It was a drive-by in the middle of the suburbia.
He was out of bomb pops, I guess. So.
Yeah, and they were very upset. They were very upset. No bomb pops,
where's
no
my
push-ups.
Bomb pops?
No, I really enjoyed it for what it is, which is just a cheesy, just completely cheesy movie. There's a whole bunch of people that popped up that I had no idea was in it, like David Naughton from American Werewolf, and Jan Michael Vincent from Airwolf.
Yeah, Jan Michael Vincent.
And
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah, he was he was kind of a star for a little while. Him and Ernest Borgnine flying around in some kind of crazy helicopter.
Airwolf.
And then you're right. And then it seems like his wife had been in a whole bunch of stuff too, but I couldn't place what she was from. But
She's from
I love
pornos.
Pornos. Nice.
I'm being legit.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, she's a famous porn star.
Shut up.
Are you talking about the director's wife that was in it?
No, the wife of
David Naughton's wife.
David Naughton's wife.
Oh, yeah. She might be the same person. I didn't look it up what her picture looks like, but anyway, continue.
Wow,
I'll get
that's
to my
crazy.
Yeah, I'll get to mine.
No, I like that one. I like that a lot. My son did notice that they got their money's worth out of like the same 3 notes over and over and over again in the score. Nice. It was just like, it's just like, I think they just did, they may have just done that just to drive you crazy, just to amp up the craziness that's going on.
Yeah.
And I did like how the one cop with the gun was running through the insane asylum. Like, all these crazy people are trying to get the Ice Cream Man grew up in. He's the only one with the gun. He's running through there like he's scared. And then Jan Michael Vincent's just walking through.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even looking at him. He's just chilling, walking through, like there's no big deal. Yeah. I thought the kids were pretty good. It was just off the hook. I mean, it's just insane. It's one of those old 90s insane movies that you look back at it and you go, how did this movie get made? And it got released in theaters, I think.
I think one of the ways it got made is that they stretched out all the pauses between conversations to make it 90 minutes, because otherwise it'd be a made for TV hour-long special. That's the one thing I noticed was like there was a lot of pausing after someone would say something. It would cut to the other person and they'd stare and then they'd say something. So.
Well, it did seem like some of the breaks did look like they were going, like they would go to commercial and then they were coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is what I was like, was this a TV? I was like, there's no way this was never mind. I was like, no, this is not a TV movie. What am I saying? They put a spoiler alert. They threw a dog through a meat grinder. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, what does happen? What does he kill the dog? Yeah. And that's a rule. You don't hurt dogs.
Oh, the one scene where he's like making the special ice cream for the police and he takes an eyeball and sticks a thing through it and takes a piece of the eyeball and puts it on top as a special topping just for
and then there's the great close-up of the eyeball. He's just going, the eyeball's looking at his mouth, just bouncing around.
Yeah, so ridiculous. But I mean, I think it is one of those things. I mean, it's an inspiration, I think, for different people that just want to go into the gore and lean into it with everything they've got.
100%.
It's super gross. Like, makes you not want to go to the Ice Cream Man when he drives by, except in a prepackaged. No,
you definitely don't want to go.
A prepackaged item. It's all you want to buy from the Ice Cream Man.
Yep.
So, Josh, you're cracking up over there.
He is cracking. He's reading all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so first off, we got to get into this director. Okay, so if the music sounds like old porno movies, it's because the director was a porn director. His name's Paul Norman, but in the movie, you'll notice in the credits, his name is Norman Apstein. That's his like fake. That's like his regular movie. He didn't do a ton of like regular movies. I think Ice Cream Man's like one of the only ones. But that's why the music sounds like that. his wife in real life, Tori Wells, she was a bit part. She wasn't the mom. I just looked it up. But she's a bit part in the movie. She was a porn star. He has like 130 directing credits, but only like 2 of them have even pictures next to them because they're all porn or whatever. So anyway, yeah, he had to make like a fake name. But David Dobkin was one of the writers on this movie. He, if that name sounds familiar to the audience, he actually became a pretty famous like comedy director. He also made some other non-comedies, but he did Wedding Crashers, which is like a huge fan favorite comedy.
Yeah.
He also directed Shanghai Nights, Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn, The Change Up, Friends with Benefits, Clay Pigeons with Joaquin Phoenix, and he also did The Judge with Robert Downey Jr. and
oh, that's a great movie.
I think
wrote that one.
Robert Duvall was. I think Robert Duvall was up for an Oscar for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He also produced and directed a few episodes of a couple of big shows like Into the Badlands on FX, Resident Alien, which I know people love that show, and then Marvel's Iron Fist. He's actually a producer on that as well.
Oh,
Wow.
Justin Isfield didn't star in this movie, but he was one of the actors. He's most notable for being a MILF guy from the American Pie movies. That's what his character name was MILF guy. He was in like the first 4 with Jason Biggs and everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
David Naughton, who you mentioned earlier, and David Warner were both in John Carpenter's Body Bags.
Well, David Warner of Scream 2 fame.
Yep, David Warner was kind of all over, but he was in Titanic. He was also in John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness, regarded as one of John Carpenter's best movies.
And
Twin Peaks, the TV show.
And in Karate Kid, the one guy says, "Put him in a body bag, man."
Yep. That actually is a real thing. And then he's also, what I know him for is he was the scientist in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. He was the big scientist.
Right, yeah.
And then
you're right.
And then a real deep cut for all the Batman fans out there, in Batman the Animated Series, he was the voice of Ra's al Ghul for all 5 episodes that Ra's al Ghul was in.
Nice.
Which Ra's al Ghul, if you guys don't remember, was played by Liam Neeson in Batman Begins. But yeah, so really cool. David Naughton was just at OKC Horror Con this weekend. I didn't get a chance to meet him, unfortunately, but I love American Werewolf in London. His Body Bags, his performance in that is really good. And then obviously let's talk about Clint Howard real quick. I mean, brother of Ron Howard. He has 261 total credits on IMDb.
Wow.
And he's still going. We actually had a chance to hang out with him at Tulsa Horror Con last year.
He was super cool.
Still working on getting him on the show, but he's a little bit older now, but he's really nice, super cool. This was his first starring role since Evil Speak, which is a really awesome movie if you guys have never seen it, from the 80s, where an evil computer like takes over his body. And I know we sold a lot of that copy of the DVDs when I worked at the video store, but to get that raspy voice in the movie, because Clint plays he always plays a weird character usually, but like this one, his voice sounds real hoarse almost. He would, on the way to set every day, he would like scream at the top of his lungs to make his voice sound like that. He probably was also mad because this movie is just ridiculous, but some of the scenes with the ice cream, they actually substituted mashed potatoes as the ice cream because they probably had to do a bunch of takes. So they're probably like, we can't just keep eating sugary ice cream. So they did mashed potatoes. The movie was actually sponsored by Converse shoes because those were real big in the 90s. So that's why you see a ton of shots of shoes in the movie, especially like the Chuck Taylors, because Converse was apparently a sponsor for this movie. And then one last thing, the abandoned sanitarium that they shot in, the satanic drawings on the wall and everything, that was like a real abandoned place, and those were already on the wall when they started filming there. So probably a lot of crazy stuff going on in there. But yeah, Ice Cream Man, crazy. But then when you do like a little deep dive on like the director, obviously, and Clint Howard, I mean, it makes sense why he was cast. I mean, it's a ridiculous film. I had never seen it like Matt till just like a couple nights ago, and thankfully it was free on Tubi. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why it's become kind of like a cult favorite. Like people like it a lot, especially for Clint Howard because he didn't have a lot of starring roles in those 261 credits. But yeah, it's just it's wild. It's also wild that it was in the 90s. That opening scene with when the ice cream man gets gunned down, it almost felt like a Friday movie to me I thought I was watching like a new, like the original Friday, like a deleted scene from Friday or something, but it just has that feel. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's fun at times and just hilarious. Like some of the dialogue is, especially with the kids, like I forget what the scene was, but the kid, I don't know, the kids that they cast were not fantastic,
pretty great,
but they
they
were
were pretty good. They were
yeah, I mean,
great being
they
bad,
probably weren't given much direction, but they just kind of had to like freeze and like, sneak away. And then obviously Clint, he actually really funny. There's a sequence towards the end of the movie when Clint Howard is up on the top of the ice cream truck and the two cops show up and they're like, freeze. And then he like comes through. He has like ice cream scoops in his hand and he jumps down and like knocks both of them out with ice cream scoops. It's just such a funny. And his truck, if especially towards the beginning of the movie when the kids are coming up to like get ice cream from him, he has like jail bars on like so like it makes his truck like even stranger. But yeah, he like creeps in the dark from like a jail cell on his ice cream truck, which I thought was super ridiculous, but very yeah, it's an out there movie for our audience if you've never seen it, but check it out. It's fun.
Yeah, check it out for sure. What I missed was, and my kid picked it up, was if you notice when he jumps off with the ice cream scoops, he has holsters that the ice cream scoops were in. So he pulls the ice cream scoops out of two like double gun holsters.
Nice.
And cracks them over the head with them.
Also, I just saw two more titles that the director did.
Oh, God.
He did Intercourse with the Vampire and Intercourse with the Vampire 2. So I guess that's supposed to be like Interview with the Vampire.
There you go.
That's really funny.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Anyway, I knew it too when I was watching it, and then I started doing my notes. I was like, okay, this is all adding up way too much. Like the way that movie felt, I was like, that guy clearly doesn't really know what he's doing. So you don't have to have a lot of talent.
Just a couple of things. I thought the dream sequences were really creepy at the beginning, that he's like having this dream sequences where there's like a scary clown, it's his doctor or whatever. And then why did the dad have a Washington monument on his desk that like took up half the desk? It was like, what is this statue on the corner of his desk? Didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, just for me, it was just super gross for 1995. But I know exactly what it's going to lead to for Eli Roth's. Like, it's just going to be bonkers. One of the things to talk about on that is that it is going to be unrated. I just saw a clip of him doing an interview, and he's like, every time I do a movie for a studio, they always want to sugarcoat everything. They want to have final say. They want to take all this stuff, and I'm doing it myself, guys. I'm going to make it my movie and exactly what I want. So if you thought Eli Roth was crazy and you thought his movies were ridiculously gory, that was with him being with a studio holding him back. So Ice Cream Man is about to go crazy. So I know that those of you that love that kind of stuff, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it, but just beware of those that don't like that level of gore. It's no holds barred. Ice Cream Man 2026.
Well, and we know that it's going to be crazy because we had friend of the show, Alex Armbruster, on earlier, who's actually in Ice Cream Man, the Eli Roth one. And he said it was so much fun, but he said it was insane being on set because he said he doesn't think people are ready for this movie. So
I don't think they are either.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine Eli Roth just unhinged. Just there's nobody, nobody's telling him what to do. He's the person telling him what to do. So I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this is under his new
It's the first
company.
one. Yep.
Yeah, it's his first one that he's done because they did that. What was the something
Eater?
Jimmy and the Twigs or whatever?
Yeah,
that came out.
one. And then something called
I
Dream
heard it
Eater,
was
right?
really good, but yeah, that was the first movie that he produced under his new thing because fans can invest, which it's a really cool idea. Like I remember we talked to Alex about it when we had him on, and it's just like a really cool, especially in this day and age when the independent stuff is crushing in horror. It's cool, like the fans get to be part of it and they get a profit. Like if you invested in this horror section, like if a movie, how much ever money it makes, like the fans actually get like a little piece of it because they invested. So
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I had no idea that he was doing. Did you guys know he's doing a movie with Snoop Dogg?
No,
yeah, I saw. Well, he did
Hey.
that. He did that trailer. Or he did like a little teaser thing.
Yeah, evidently that's an actual movie called "Don't Go in That House, Bitch."
Yeah, don't go in that house.
What is it? What?
That's
Well,
crazy.
we talked to Alex. He did another fake trailer that I think they're gonna make a real movie, hopefully, because it made me laugh. But it was the one where they're like the piano. Was it the piano killer?
Yes,
something like that. But that trailer that they made for that was I was dying. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Really cool. I can't wait for Ice Cream Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're in for it, man. It's slowly becoming one of my most anticipated movies. The more trailers and clips I see of it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So to finish out the conversation as we prepare for that Ice Cream Man movie by Eli Roth, we're going to take a look at 3 of Eli Roth's movies. Cabin Fever from 2002, Hostel, which really put him on the map in 2005, and then Thanksgiving from 2023, which was like a slow hit, like a soft, silent hit. It just became great. It became a real popular thing at cons to see John Carver. And as Josh already mentioned, we got to interview the man behind the mask, Alice Armbruster, on a Creators Conversation earlier this year. So that's Thanksgiving. But let's jump in. Cabin Fever 2002 starts out. We've got some young kids. There's 5 of them, 1 couple, 1 guy that's forlorn for the other girl, and then 1 dude that's the comic relief. And they're going on a trip. They've got a cabin in the woods. So it starts like a lot of these horror movies do. But instead of being chased by evil demons like Evil Dead or Jason like Friday the 13th, they're chased by just a disease, a skin disease that causes the person that catches it to basically just be bleeding out their pores until their skin just kind of melts away and they just are dead and gone. So that's kind of the premise. They have a crazy encounter with a guy that's wandering the woods, and they end up contracting it. He ends up falling in the water and ruining the water supply for that cabin, and then that ends up ruining the water supply for the entire city by the end of the movie. So this town is just going to be full of people that are just dead. So I guess they're not going to be full of people. Just going to be full of bodies. But it kind of starts out, and the one girl catches it, and then they all try to keep her away from them, but then they all end up catching it one by one, except for one guy. Spoiler alert. One guy doesn't catch the disease, and he's so excited, and he runs out of the cabin. He's like, I did it. And cops just gun him down because they think that he has the disease, and they're trying to protect their people. So that did not end very well at all, but it ended really kind of hilariously with the little kids grabbing the water, making lemonade, and serving it to the cops that killed the guys, and then serving the whole town, right? So yeah, so that's Cabin Fever. I think it was Eli Roth, one of his earlier films, if it wasn't his first film. But Matt, as our guest buddy, you go first. What do you think, Cabin Fever?
I have grown to love this movie. I didn't care for it when I first saw it, but I've kind of grown into the gore of things. Like I used to really not like it. Now I'm kind of, after you watch a couple of Terrifier films, you just kind of, you just kind of want to know what they're going to do next,
See for everything.
Yeah, right. No, that one is I think it reminds me of a 70s movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what he was going for or not. But yeah, it reminds me of one of those old 70s horror movies where, you've got a whole group of friends and then they kind of just, they just kind of start turning on each other really quick. And you find out that's the kind of stuff I like is you see people, you see the character development of who's going to turn first. And you're like, oh, okay, well, she's sick. Well, we're going to, throw her in the barn or whatever, the shed outside. And the whole, they're all good buddy. And then everything starts going to hell. I thought the direction was really good. I loved the cinematography. And then, I think it was Greg Nicotero that worked on this one too, who did the special effects, which were just, they're super gross. I mean, that scene where she's shaving her legs in the tub is just, ugh. Yeah. It's just it's just terrible. I think was Hostel his first movie?
No, Hostel was after this one.
Cabin Fever was
Cabin Fever his first one?
Directorial debut. Yep.
Yeah, it was. It seems like, he grew as a director because we'll talk about Hostel later. Anyway, I really liked it. I thought he did a great job. I thought he handled all the set pieces well. I love the claustrophobic feel when they're all inside the cabin. And they kind of figure out where, they finally figure out what's going on and what's wrong. And then I don't remember. Is it they figure out that the water's bad and the two guys decide they're just going to drink beer the rest of the entire time? Or no, that happens before, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they're saved for most of it. And then the guy breaks his deal and drinks one sip of water. And then the next day
that's right.
Yeah, so it's just
Robert Kurtzman was the makeup effects, another legend, not Greg Nicotero, but yeah.
Was that who did it?
He worked with Greg Nicotero a lot though, but yeah, Robert Kurtzman, who worked on From Dusk Till Dawn, Wishmaster, he's got a ton of credits, but yeah, him and Greg I think came from like the same school of makeup effects. So
yeah, that was I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that I love where they shot. I don't know where they shot it, but it's just that area is beautiful wherever they shot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just that cabin, it gives you that feel of, oh, this is going to be a nice little, trip. And then, their faces start melting off.
Yeah.
And it's the one guy just starts randomly shooting that poor guy who's sick, who shows up for, just to get some help. And he just starts blasting away. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. He just got scared.
Yeah. It's, it's good. And I like, it's not Cheryl Ladd. What's the blonde's name that's in Jordan Ladd?
Yeah.
Jordan Ladd. Yeah.
I love her from Death Proof. So, it's got a bunch of actors in it that I like too.
And it was filmed in North Carolina.
Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. That just seemed beautiful. But the guy who's in Detroit Rock City too,
yeah,
I love that guy. I love that guy. I wish he was in more stuff because he's just, he
James
plays that
DeBello.
goofy. Yeah, James DeBello. He plays that goofy guy. He reminds me of Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dug it a lot. I think it's really good.
Yeah, actually, Chris and I watched it last night, and she enjoyed it. She's like, "That was good. That was good."
Yeah, it's a solid flick for sure.
Yeah, it really is. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's got the people at the beginning are super creepy. Like the kid that has the bunny rabbit mask on and bites him. You're like, what is going on? He steals the Snicker bar?
Yeah. For what? Yeah. What are you doing, bro? Yeah. Just so dumb. Yeah. But it starts like those Cabin in the Woods movies do, like The Hills Have Eyes, or it starts like that. So you think that's what's going to happen. And then it's not what's going to happen.
That kid, the martial arts that he's doing, like he actually is like a real martial art. Like I can't remember what the notes said. He's like a black belt in.
Wow, I know that was a crazy move that he did for no reason.
It was funny because I guess I can't remember how it ended up making it in the movie for him to like do martial arts just randomly, but I think Eli saw him. He found out he was like a black belt, and he's like, well, let's just throw randomly into the So he just had him go do pretty much like improv that scene, I guess.
Right.
And it's really funny when it happens because freaking James DeBell was like, what the?
What?
Like, what
And then the
hell?
kid bites him and he's infected. And so now the kid's got it. It's crazy. Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World is the main lead in this. As we mentioned, Jordan
Sean.
Ladd. But yeah, Serena Vincent is also in it from Not Another Teen
Wasn't she a
Movie.
Power Ranger too? Was she the yellow Power Ranger?
I think she was in like the later not like Mighty Morphin, but she was on like 20 different Rangers, whatever the like middle, like after
middle
Mighty
Ranger.
Morphin was ended and Turbo was ended. She was like the quadruple turbo alien Mighty Morphin Zeo Ranger.
She was in the Return to Haunted Hill. So that was.
Yeah.
I like the House on Haunted Hill remake. That was one that I really got freaked out when I saw it.
That was a really good one.
Which one? Who's in that one?
Chris Kattan.
Ali Larder. Isn't Ali Larder and
Ali Larder, I think.
Oh, I did watch that one.
Jeffrey Rush.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he plays the hotel owner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that in the theaters.
Is a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I did too. And that it was just kind of the first time you saw that kind of jumpy like movement, and it just like freaked me out.
Well, because that came out around the same time as some similar movies like that, like The Haunting with Liam Neeson. That was another kind of like extreme jump scare with the sound and everything.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought it was good. It was not something you would expect would happen. There's no final girl. Like I said before, everybody dies from our main group, and then everybody's dead in the town. Eli Roth actually plays kind of has a cameo in it as the pothead that shows up out of nowhere with the dog, and then he winds up dead in the final reel somewhere.
Yep.
I do also want to mention Eli Roth got some love in Inglourious Basterds. Quentin Tarantino, he plays the Bear Jew, where they're chasing Nazis, and very, very pivotal scene where he walks out of a cave with a big old bat and he just take a swing at a Nazi head. So that's just a kind of a wild opportunity to be in a Quentin Tarantino movie like that. I think
But he's in two. He's in Death Proof too, right?
I don't know if he was in Death Proof. Was he?
I think he does have I think he is in
I
that.
think he's in the bar making fun of oh no, he is because he goes up to the bar to get a drink and he calls Kurt Russell BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
Do you know who quick for our audience and for you guys, do you know who originally the Bear Jew role was written for? Adam Sandler.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Quentin wrote that specifically because he was a huge fan of Adam Sandler, especially like his 90s work and stuff.
Right.
And so he wrote that role, but Adam was filming, I can't remember, he might have been doing the Zohan, he was doing something.
Right.
And so he had a scheduling conflict, so he just hit up his buddy Eli Roth and was like, hey, you want to do this part? And I think he ended up, I can't see him, anybody else being the Bear Jew. Eli Roth did fantastic in that role, but that would have been kind of weird with Adam Sandler. Not weird, but like it would have been weird to see like Adam Sandler in that role. It would have
been, it would have kind of taken me out of the movie a little bit, but yeah.
Well, Eli Roth has that look too, like he's kind of more buff and more buff than Adam Sandler, and he's got he wears the suspenders, and like I just think he played that role better, in my honest opinion, but.
Yeah, and they've got Mike Myers is in that movie too, which always cracks me up. I always forget he's in it too. Every time I forget he's in it.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Josh, let's hear it. Backlot breakdown for Cabin Fever 2002.
Yeah, this one was super fun. I remember when it came out, it was kind of like very inventive. They didn't used to. I remember the trailer was the first thing I ever saw, and it wasn't even in the theaters. It was like on a DVD, like before a movie on a DVD or something. But it had a little review of how good it was, and it was from Peter Jackson, like Lord of the Rings director. And fun fact, Peter Jackson loved this movie so much. He because Peter comes from like more of a horror background with like Dead Alive, which I think is one of the greatest visual effects crazy movies ever.
The Frighteners, which is another fantastic movie.
Like he's more of even in his Lord of the Rings movies, he gets to do some like horror themed stuff, but he loved this movie so much. They were filming Return of the King at the time. He stopped he had 3 different times where he screened the movie Cabin Fever for like the whole crew and the cast because
That's
he loved
awesome.
it so much. But he had his little review. I remember I saw the trailer and I was like, it was backed by Peter Jackson, which, you know, at the time, obviously like Lord of the Rings, the first 2 movies had come out, but that was a really cool thing to see. So I was like, oh man, this must be pretty good. You know, like Peter Jackson's very selective. So really fun. It was written by Eli, but it was also written by Randy Perlstein, who that name might sound familiar. He was actually roommates with Eli Roth at film school, but he's had a few credits. He was Buckley in Dead Man on Campus. I don't know if our audience or you guys have seen that movie.
I remember
but
that one. Yeah.
really fun movie. I think Mark Paul Gosselaar and Shades from That Thing You Do. I forget his actor name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really funny movie, but it was out of print for a long time too. I remember the video store. We finally got Dead Man on Campus, so I was finally able to watch it because you couldn't get it for a long time. But yeah, he played him on there. He's also the voice of Jack Howitzer on the Grand Theft Auto games, which is a big character. And then a lot of you would probably recognize him if you don't recognize him from Dead Man on Campus. He worked on some episodes of The Chappelle Show. Most notably, he was the gay KKK member on one episode, which is, I mean, if you saw his face, the audience, you probably would recognize him, but he was one of the writers for this movie, which I thought was pretty fun. And then you just talked about the cast. I mean, Jordan Ladd, she was in Club Dread, which was the Broken Lizard guys, Death Proof, which Matt mentioned, Never Been Kissed, which is a really fun one with Drew Barrymore, Ryder Strong, obviously Sean from Boy Meets World, James DeBello, Detroit Rock City, which you already mentioned. He's also in a quick scene in Scary Movie 2 with Sean. There's a scene with him and Sean Wayans that they make fun of Dude, Where's My Car, which is really funny. Serena Vincent, she did a ton of TV shows. And then she was also in Tales of Halloween, which our audience might have seen. It was kind of like a anthology film that came out like 2012, I think. And then Joey Kern, we didn't talk about. He's in this movie. He was in Grind, which was a really cool like skate movie, like a skating movie comedy that came out. And then he was also in the beginning of Super Troopers. He's very famous for the opening to Super Troopers. He's like the 3 guys are all high in the car and they're like, pull over. And he's like, we're already pulled over. We can't pull over any further. That's the same guy, it's Joey Kern, but he popped up in some other stuff. The shaving, like the skin coming off, that actually like happened to Eli Roth. That's where he got the idea. He used to work on a farm in Iceland and he got a skin infection from the hay, like rotting hay or something. And so he had all these sores and like he was bleeding and stuff. And when he shaved his face, his like parts of his skin of his face like came off. So that's where he got the idea for that scene in Cabin Fever. That's how he got the idea for this movie kind of in general. But yeah, I just remember when it came out, it was like a huge deal. I remember it was in the theaters. It had a pretty good run for being like more lower budget. I know it was backed by obviously Peter Jackson, but I think this is when him and Quentin kind of started forming their friendship. But Quentin hadn't started producing his movies yet. But yeah, I just remember like what a big deal it was when it came out. And a bunch of my friends went to see it in the theaters and I waited till it hit video and then I rented it, but I really enjoyed it, especially on first watch. I was just kind of 2002. I was like just getting into movies back then, like heavily getting into movies, not just like superhero movies or comedies or whatever. I was like actually watching legit movies back then. But that was kind of the start. So I remember watching it and I was like, man, that was pretty solid especially for his like first film. And then he became the Eli Roth that we know today.
Yeah, absolutely. We just mentioned it. Quentin Tarantino started producing some of his films, putting his name behind Eli Roth because of their friendship and because he valued what he was doing on the screen. And one of the first ones he did that with was Hostel 2005. This was the first movie I ever knew Eli Roth from. Everything about Hostel is just nuts. Basically, a group of guys goes on a European trip. They're basically jumping from town to town, staying at hostels. They stay at this one hostel and they get invited to a party by some girls. When they do the party, they have some drinks. They wake up. Basically, they're captured in this torture chamber, and people with lots of money are going in and using their bodies for torture and fun, physical torture and all that stuff. So just a bunch of gore. I think this is probably, we've said the P word a lot in this episode, so I don't know if I want to say it, but this is definitely the torture celebration movie that I remember kind of kicking off that whole kind of vibe. It's interesting, it's gory, it's all that stuff, but it's, Jay Hernandez finds a way to get away at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert, but he's our final guy. But yeah, it's just the whole movie is kind of that vibe. And so Matt, let's hear it, man. What you got?
This one is, I never saw this one in the theater just because, around this time I had heard, so, the word of mouth was so crazy about this movie. I know a girl I was dating at the time, she went and saw it, and she went to a theater and that came out. When did this come out? In 90 or
2005?
Yeah. So it was one of the biggest theaters we had, and she said she got there a little late, and she said the theater was absolutely packed. This was back when movies sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And she came out of it going, that's the grossest movie I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
She was like, I've never seen so many topless girls and, body parts being chopped off ever. So I thought, well, I don't know, I wasn't into the gore a whole lot back then either. So I missed it up until I probably didn't see it until about 5 years ago for the first time. And honestly, it was better than I thought it was going to be. The first half of that movie is really beautifully shot. They build the relationship between all three of those guys up really good.
Mm-hmm.
They let you know right off the bat that the two guys are from America. They've been friends for a long time. They just hooked up with this other guy. Is he Norwegian? Is that what he is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've just kind of been kicking it around, hanging out. And then they meet that freaky guy on the train who kind of hits on one of them, I think. And then they end up, I don't know how these guys don't realize red flags are going off when you're, you check into the hostel and two hot girls are like, hey, come to the steam room with us and we're going to get topless, and you're like, no, that doesn't, this doesn't happen right off the bat.
You talking to me?
Something's fishy,
right.
So right?
Yeah.
Something's fishy somewhere. And then, then that one, then their buddy disappears, and then they get that.
They get text,
they get
right?
that
picture text and stuff.
Yeah, they get a text, and then they kind of pan down, and his head's been chopped off. Spoiler alert. And the guy just took a close up of his head, and then he's just whistling down the hallway down to the other person, whoever he paid to have, chop up or whatever. So the little kids just, they might freak me out more than anything else. And I guess that's a real thing over there.
Yeah.
I guess they're just, they're
bandits,
just, hoodlums, just gangs of little, preteens running around shaking people down for bubblegum, I guess. And then I'll be honest with you. I guess we live in the Terrifier world. And I keep on bringing up Terrifier because it's the,
it's a good reference.
As of right now, that's the top of the food chain as far as gore goes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put Hostel up against Terrifier, the first Hostel up against a Terrifier movie, it seems pretty tame.
Yeah.
I know if you can say that, it seems fairly tame compared to what Damien Leone's doing now,
Right.
But it's just, I think he still leans into the Jaws thing, because I think he's a big Jaws fan too. So I think he still leans into the, I'm going to make you think what I'm doing, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Like, he'll cut away real quick and just do a sound effect of I don't think, do they show both the guys' Achilles getting cut? They don't, right?
No,
I don't
they
think
show
they do. Do they?
They don't show both. They don't show both, but
they just show one.
Yeah, because that was like the big. I'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, that was like the big word of mouth thing that was going around. Was I had a lot of friends that were like, "Yeah, there's a scene," and like they said they couldn't even watch it. But continue.
Yeah, there's, I mean, and there, there's a whole lot of, other stuff like, pushing drills into people's knees and
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. But, it's just that he's just pushing, he's
Crazy.
just he was pushing the envelope back then. And has there ever been a director's cut of that movie? Has he ever done a director's cut of that movie?
I think on DVD, I just remember. No, I think it wasn't a director's cut. I think it was just an unrated cut. There's
Unrated,
like,
gotcha.
But I mean, I think it's just, they just show a
Yeah,
little bit more of what
couple
they
of
filmed.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he put the most extreme stuff that he could into the final.
It's still a
cut.
studio film, right? Which is what he's said, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still handcuffed. It's just that they're a little looser than what they are when they're completely off.
Right.
And real quick, he also, I read that I think it was for Hostel. He said that he went ahead and made it like with the notion that it would all have to be cut down to not be NC-17.
Right.
And the studio just automatically made it rated R. So like he didn't have to he cut down a little bit of stuff here and there, but he really didn't have to like cut much out, which is surprising
shocking
when you see that movie. Sure.
Yeah.
There's a few scenes where you're like, what? They didn't even question it? That's insane.
Yeah. It's but no, I enjoyed it. I watched it again last weekend, and
Nice.
I hadn't seen it in a while, but yeah, I enjoyed it again. I mean, it's definitely a shock value. He's trying to. If he wanted to get word of mouth, he definitely got word of mouth, and it doesn't hurt that you slap Quentin's name on there either.
That was
just
big.
right around Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I'm not 100% sure you want the guy from Ain't It Cool News on there anymore, but
right.
I think he probably wants to have his name removed for very obvious reasons.
Nice reference.
I think that
Cool
guy on the
News.
DVD, I think that guy even has a commentary track on the original DVD, which is probably sketchy.
Dang,
at
I
best.
remember that.
Right?
Ain't it cool news?
Yeah, that was back in the day. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought the effects were awesome. That may have been the one that I was thinking Greg Nicotero worked on. I'm pretty sure he worked on that one. But just all the body parts that the guy has to lay in when he's escaping. And the thing that got me is anything to do with like eyeballs or toes, I can't handle. And that, the guy's cutting her toes off with bolt cutters, and then the eyes popping out, hanging out of her, hanging out of her head. And it's just anything you can do to get under people's skin, that guy's finding a way to get under their skin,
100%.
So
100%.
he definitely, he definitely, went as far as he could with that one. But I honestly think that the some of the shots just where they're walking around Amsterdam, and there's a real high shot of the city. There's one where they're walking along the river, which is just it's a beautiful, it's shot beautifully, if you can say beautiful when people are getting body parts lopped off. But it's a fun movie. I mean, if you like that kind of movie, you should, and you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you've seen any of the most recent movies, this one's, can't believe I'm saying Hostel is kind of tame.
Yeah. I know. Things have changed for sure.
Yeah.
One other person I wanted to mention was Rick Hoffman. I've seen him pop up in a ton of different TV shows and stuff, but this was the first movie I remember him from, and then he actually revisits us in our next movie we're going to talk about. But he's just got that crazy, he's got that crazy vibe that just is like, he can pass for like a really like jerk business dude, like in that bro category of just like, I can do whatever I want because I have a lot of money. Really does that role well. And I think Jay Hernandez did a good job in this film with.
Really good. Yeah.
It's one of his only leads, I think. I mean, he's been in a couple of lead parts, but this was one that was, he really does take up half the movie just with himself trying to escape. And I mean, this was my first introduction to that level of gore. When did the first Saw movie come out?
2004.
Okay, so just a year before.
This. Yep.
And I had kind of gotten. I don't know that I watched them in 2004. I think it was a little later that I ended up watching them, but I ended up kind of getting on the Saw train, and I like the idea, the detective work of Saw, but then it's also got the gore and stuff. So we were definitely, as a movie going audience, we were definitely interested in seeing a little bit more of that in our films, in our horror films in particular at that time. And I think it's definitely set the stage for what we watch now and what we're going to see this weekend. Josh, what you got for the backlot breakdown?
Well, real quick, Matt was correct. Greg Nicotero, this was the movie that he was. They had probably like a 20-person special effects crew.
Good job,
Greg
buddy. You got it.
Greg was on this. Some other notable producers on this movie, other than Quentin, Scott Spiegel, we've talked about a few times. He is good friends with Sam Raimi. He's worked on a lot of those films. And Eli Roth's favorite horror film, well, one of his all-time horror films is Evil Dead 2. But we did a Sam Raimi episode already, and then we just recently had our episode with Laser Wagon talking about the Evil Dead movies. But Scott Spiegel,
go listen to the Evil Dead show.
That
they
was a
did,
good one,
because that was, if you need to know anything about Evil Dead, that's the show to listen to, because all three of these guys kill it. They told me some stuff I didn't know, and I thought I was smart.
There's a lot of fun stuff in that franchise, but and then Scott Spiegel, it was brought up on the Sam Raimi episode, thanks to my buddy CJ, Sidekicking. But Scott Spiegel is actually the guy in Spider-Man 2 when he's trying to get the pizza on the porch that Spider-Man leaves on the thing. He's the guy that tries to eat the pizza and then Spider-Man takes it away. But he's like BFFs with Sam Raimi. But he was a producer on this. And then real deep cut, Bose Yakin was actually a producer on this, who directed Remember the Titans, and actually was about to make a Batman Beyond film for all of you out there that got canceled, which would have been nuts because Batman Beyond is one of the coolest stories. But anyway, he also did like a dog, I forget which dog movie he did, but one of those drama dog movies.
Air Bud?
No, not Air Bud, but it was it was not.
Was
it wasn't
it the riding in cars? Is it that one?
Oh, did he do that one? He did. No, I was thinking maybe. No, it wasn't Hot. Was it Hachi? No, not Hachi. He did Uptown Girls, Remember the Titans.
Oh, wow, we
Max.
just watched. Okay,
Max with Channing Tatum. The
police, army
military. Dog. Yeah, I think I never saw that movie, but I heard it was really good.
Shout out to Uptown Girls, because sorry, 1 second.
He got excited about Uptown Girls. He's a huge fan of
It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it, I promise. All right, I'm gonna do it.
No one has ever said shout out to Uptown.
And in the history of podcasts, that is the first time that's ever been said.
I can't wait to hear this one.
Really. Take two.
Uptown Girls.
All right.
Hold it together.
All right. Deep breath. Goose fraba.
All right. So we watched Uptown Girls recently for all right, hold on. I'm crying here.
That's great.
We actually watched Uptown Girls for OKC Horror because Marley Shelton is in it.
Oh.
All right. And shout out also Greg Nicotero.
Is he?
Greg Nicotero did all the visual
for Uptown Girls? Did he really?
No.
Oh man, I was about to be like, what?
Dude.
I don't think I even saw Uptown.
I'm sorry. Was it too big of a build up? It wasn't as funny as it was in my head.
No, that was funny, but I think just the soundbite of like shout out to Uptown Girls.
So funny.
With Brittany Murphy and
that's what I was trying to think of. Brittany Murphy.
Shout out
I was like, where's he going with shout out to Uptown Girls?
Greg Nicotero.
I heard it was a good movie, but I never saw it. But that's going to be a good soundbite later.
Because Uptown Girls is known for its horrific violence.
Yeah.
Uptown Girls is, I've never seen it, so I don't have anything to say. That's funny, though. Yeah, that's going to be a good soundbite.
We're going to give it a shout out because Greg Nicotero
Sprang's the first person ever
Uptown Girls.
to shout out Uptown Girls. I love it.
Oh,
So
man.
anyway, but
Yep.
yeah, so there's some crazy. There was like 8 producers on this. Like, I don't know why you need that many producers, but there's a bunch. Yeah, I remember this movie being crazy. Like Matt said earlier, like word of mouth. I remember
Oh, yeah.
I saw it. Not opening weekend, but like the next. I think I saw like the second week it was out, and I remember going to the theaters to see it, and we were just like. Because I think around that time, I hadn't seen a ton of, like, extreme horror movies, like, Saw kind of invented the torture movies that we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, but Hostel came out around this like, a year later, so I was
Mhm.
lumped in there with, like, the first Saw, and I remember, the feeling I had watching the first Saw movie, like, it was kinda that same feeling, but, like, more extreme just because basically because of, like, 2 or 3 really crazy scenes in Hostel, but word of mouth, and then I finally saw it in person, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've never seen a movie like this."
Mhm.
But yeah, the Achilles one was a huge topic of discussion. The eyeball, I don't think I've still to this day. I mean, I've seen some extreme movies. I don't think I've seen a scene crazier than that eyeball, like actual eyeball getting cut out of the thing. Like that
Well, it
was
was
some
like
crazy
hanging.
work.
It was like
No, yeah, it was-
melting
yeah,
and
and then he-
hanging out, and then
And
like
Jay felt bad. Jay Hernandez felt bad, and then he
Yeah, so
like
you just cut it
cut
off.
it off, and then it started. Yeah, I'm not going to
Oh,
get
messed
into
up,
super
man.
detail, but yeah, I mean, I just remember when that movie came out because like it was hard to not talk about it or
Yeah.
forget it. And I graduated high school in '06 the next year, so like I was still in high school when this movie came out. So like all of my friends were talking about it. I mean, I just remember going to the theaters and we were all just like, dang, that was whatever we just watched was
Mhm.
insane. There's a reference to The Shining in this movie, which I love The Shining. The 3 friends, when they stay at the hotel or the hostel or whatever, they stay in room 237, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
The guard, I forget what, if it's in I think it's towards the beginning of the movie, but there's a guard and he's watching if you look on the TV, he's watching a porn parody of Cabin Fever called Sex Fever.
oh
So
my
of
goodness.
an Eli Roth movie. Speaking of that, also, so Quentin Tarantino was a producer. He also has a cameo in this movie. He's a shirtless German, like screaming out of a window. But if you look at the beginning of the movie or towards like the first 15 minutes, when they get to the hostel, the employees at the thing, they're watching Pulp Fiction, so
Mhm.
they're watching
Nice.
a Quentin movie. And then the one last thing, the interior shots at the slaughterhouse, those are like a functioning psychiatric hospital that was located in Prague where they filmed most of the movie. And it had
Wow.
been closed for like 50 years. So I guess it was like, I mean, you can only imagine how sketched out it probably was in there. So
Mhm.
to make it more vibrant on set or make people not as freaked out filming in there, Eli hired like a 4-piece orchestra to play like
string quartet.
classical music. Yeah, like a
Nice.
string quartet. So that way people could kind of like not feel so, just like disgusting in there.
Wow.
But yeah, crazy movie. Like I just remember, not only the word of mouth, but just when the DVD came out, I remember that was around the time when a lot of horror movies started coming out, and then when they'd hit DVD, they after Hostel, they would all have like an unrated cut. So like
Oh, yeah.
that was like the it thing to do was like a lot of them were like Hollywood Video and Blockbuster. They would say like they were exclusive up top, and you
Mhm.
get the DVD, and it'd be like the exclusive Blockbuster rental
Right.
unrated DVD of Feast 2 or whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Uptown Girl.
Uptown Girl, the
Uptown Girl.
unrated NC-17 Greg Nicotero directed cut.
The Greg Nicotero cut.
The Bose Yakin Greg Nicotero cut. But yeah, it was just a crazy. I mean, that little era, like the early 2000s to like the 2010s was. I mean, we had some doozies of horror films that came out, and most of them were on that Terrifier level. I feel like Terrifier, I mean, as extreme as it is, it's done in a more animated, fun way. Like Hostel was completely like not funny at all. It was like dark.
Yeah, I get it.
mean,
Yeah.
it felt a little bit too real because of the makeup effects. Terrifier, you know, you watch those and like it's crazy what you're watching on the screen, but like it's done in such an animated way that you're just like, oh, this is. I mean, it's not fun, but it's like it takes a little bit of the darkness off the.
Yeah.
Like Hostel, when you watch the Achilles being cut, you're like, oh my God, I feel like my Achilles just tore in real life.
That's a good point. I was thinking more of when I was watching it and talking about it earlier, I think I was thinking more of the gore stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's still
when you bring
relates
it, when
to
you,
Terrifier now.
When you bring it up like that,
our torture, like right now, that's like our torture movies. Yeah.
And, and everybody's trying to kind of go for that now too, which is, it's not, like you said, it's not too serious. I don't want to say it's not slapstick, but
right.
Well, it kind of, I mean, when you put David Howard Thornton in he's going to make it slapstick whether you want him to or not. You can't not help but laugh at some of the stuff that he does. And he's, that guy's performance in all of those movies with him not saying a word.
I know. Crazy.
And behind all that makeup is really impressive. Not that we're talking about Terrifier, but I was watching, I think it was 2 the other day, and I was just thinking, man, that guy can get so much emotion and, come across without saying anything.
Yeah, it's insane.
He never says
a
anything.
lot of eye acting, a lot of facial expressions. Yeah, he's
really good.
He's trained in I think he has like a lot of mime training as well.
Right.
So he's really good at that.
You can definitely tell. Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love those movies. I like Hostel too. I think the second Hostel's really good.
Hostel 2 is actually pretty good too.
That one's really good. That one's even, I mean, that one, you could tell they gave him a little more leeway with that one as well, because there's a whole lot more.
I think that one was more, we got the penile decapitation in that one.
Oh my gosh. I got to send you guys a deal where he said that him and James Wan, like Eli Roth, James Wan,
walk into a bar.
Lee Winnell, walk into a bar. Lee Winnell, and then somebody else all had a text thread where they were going, oh, we're going to do this? Are you going to use this? Are you ripping someone's head off? And then Eli Roth goes, are you doing anything with a dick? And they're like, no. And he goes, well, I am.
Yeah, Hostel 2.
Crazy.
That was another one that I remember seeing in the theaters, and we were just like, whoa. Yeah. I didn't think you could top Hostel 1, but
no, yeah.
And then Hostel 3 kind of goes a little bit, I mean, it kind of follows one guy that's on the other side. And
I never saw the third one.
I don't even know if I've seen the third one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It wasn't directed by Eli. It was It was, we just talked about this director recently. Actually, you know what? No, you know who directed 3? It was Scott Spiegel.
Really?
Was it really?
We just talked about that on the Evil Dead. Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
So yeah, Scott Spiegel, who I just was talking about, Sam Raimi's BFF, he did the third one. But I still never saw the third one.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Cool. Yep. Thank you, Josh. Great stuff. And
speaking of thanks,
Thanksgiving is around the corner, and we are going to be talking about Thanksgiving from 2023. As you mentioned before, our good friend Alex Armbruster was the man behind the mask for a lot of this movie, so that is super exciting that we got to talk to him. But basically, the story is it's a big issue at the Black Friday sale. People die because all the people running around and doing all that stuff. So it's basically a massacre, crashing through the store, all that stuff. And then a year later, somebody dressed as John Carver shows up and starts taking people out in the town that have to do with the whole thing. They found a video of the thing, and anybody that didn't protect people, they are now on the list. Patrick Dempsey stars as the sheriff, and we have, like I said earlier, we've got Rick Hoffman playing the dad role. Gina Gershon is in this, and a bunch of younger actors as well, all trying to survive this Thanksgiving massacre, this Thanksgiving killer. This one reminded me a lot of like your nice slasher films. It wasn't too gory. There was one scene that was kind of gory, but for the most part, it just felt like a nice, it seemed nice. It just felt like your average slasher film done really well and scary, but it wasn't taking itself too seriously, and it wasn't dark at all. It wasn't like Hostel and Cabin Fever that gets really kind of like gross and dark. This was just a little more lighthearted. It has that Scream vibe where you don't know who the killer is the whole time. It's the Scream and the I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of vibe. And really well done. Eli did a great job with this one. They have Thanksgiving 2 that's now pushed, I think, to next year. So we're looking forward to that one. And we're hoping to have Alex back to prepare for that one. That'd be awesome. Matt, let's hear it. What you got, man? Thanksgiving.
I've been looking forward to this movie since Grindhouse, and he did that mock trailer of Thanksgiving, which is just, the best part of Grindhouse to me was, I love both. I love Planet Terror and Death Proof, but the huge surprise were all of the fake trailers in between and the trailers that actually got made into movies.
Right.
I think, what is there, 3, right? Like Hobo with the Shotgun got made, right?
Machete.
And Machete.
Jason Eisner.
Yeah. And
Machete, Robert Rodriguez.
And then Thanksgiving, which is, Thanksgiving was the one that disturbed me the most. I was like, what is going on in that trailer? Yeah. So, but no, I think you're exactly right. I think he did a great job of not going too far. Because you hear Eli Roth, so you're thinking, okay, this is going to be off the hook. He's going to be going crazy, and there's some good kills, there's some gross kills in there, but it's not anything,
right?
It's not anything worse than something that's been in a Scream or something like that,
Right.
But it has that really good '90s, '90s feel to it. That group of teenagers, all those actors are great. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's good that he cast. Majority of them are unknown. I think one of them is a YouTube star, but I can't remember which one it was. But it surprised me. I'm always shocked when I was reading who was going to be in it, and Patrick Dempsey was in it. I was like, that's kind of out of left field. But for some reason, I was like, Patrick Dempsey doesn't do horror, and then I was like, wait, yes, he does. He was in Scream. I don't know why I forget that he's in Scream.
Scream 3. Yeah.
Which Scream 3 is underrated, by the way. I really enjoy Scream 3.
100%.
But yeah, I thought he was great as the sheriff. I love the Asian guy as the other detective. I can't remember his name. He's been in some other stuff, but he just cracks me up because he's kind of cranky. And the new guy almost runs him off the road when he's coming in. And yeah, it's a good whodunit because you really don't, you really can't figure out who it is. At least I couldn't. In general, I can pick up on that stuff. But yeah, I love that it was set during Thanksgiving. I love that it was cold. I thought they got the whole overcast. It's cold. It's snowing sometimes. Sometimes it's not. I loved the diner scene is one of my favorites.
Great scene.
When she's leaving and she's just, she's trying to, I thought it was very inventive because and I've always kind of thought this too, which is someone's just been stabbed and they have blood all over them, but they can pick up their phone and dial. And she's having a hard time dialing her phone because there's no buttons on any of these phones anymore. So if your hands get wet, you're done. And someone finally got it where, they're putting someone in danger. She's trying to dial her phone and it's not happening.
Yeah, that kind of points back to like the whole issue that a lot of horror movies have anyway, because in this day and age, everybody's got a phone. So they're just going to call the cops. So he kind of got around that, that kind of trope with she was trying, but she just,
she's not, she can't do it. And then I love the first, the opening scene that could have just been a documentary from like 2 years ago when people are busting down the, breaking down doors for freaking TVs and, whatever, footballs or toaster ovens or whatever, he threw about everything in there that you could think of that someone's going to, kill someone else for because you can get it for, $25 less than it was the day before,
Right.
I mean, it just says a lot about where the world was at that time, kind of where it's still in. But yeah, and I love the punk kids going in the side door and all the people are standing out there and they're just kind of waving at them and throwing the football around and, just being douchebags in there while all the other guys are waiting outside, freezing to death. And then the end is bonkers. You got anytime you're going to throw someone and cook them alive in an oven is a little disturbed. I'd be maybe a little demented, but I always laugh when he sticks the turkey thermometer in her before he shuts the thing. And then I really couldn't believe that they did the whole end thing of the table where she's, I don't know how to.
Yep. You got it. Yep.
She's turkeyed.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was cool that Eli did the voice of John Carver at the end. I thought that was cool. He's got that kind of weird tone to his voice too, where he can kind of creep you out. So, and I love the guy from Suits and the guy from Hostel. What's his name?
Rick Hoffman. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Hoffman. He's great. He's great in everything. And you're right. He plays an awesome slime ball. Like he was in, I think he was in My Kid Loves Day After Tomorrow. So I don't know why he loves Day After Tomorrow, but he loves that movie.
And I
think he's one of the, it's grown on me. I like it as much as he's watched it. I kind of have to like it now. But I think he's one of the guys that tries to buy his way onto a bus. And he plays the same, like you said, he's the same character in every movie, just kind of a slimy, dirtbag. And the lady they got to play his wife is perfect too, because she's just, she just plays like, you can tell she's kind of a gold digger and all about, well, no, you need to stay open on Thanksgiving because we need to make that, I need a new diamond ring. So, but yeah, I thought all the characters were good. I love the fact that he switches up into the clown in the middle during the parade. I thought the parade was cool. I love the John Carver, mask and costume. And I thought Alex did a great, he's, I don't know that I've seen him in anything else, but just the body language he's got moving around, and he's swinging the axe at one point while he's walking through the school. And, my kid, it holds a soft spot for me too, because my kid doesn't really like horror movies, but that was one of the few he wanted to actually go see in the theater with me. So we went and saw it, and
nice.
He's sitting there, and I can tell when he's kind of getting nervous. And it's the part where her friends have been caught, and he's texting her to come down the hall, and they're literally sitting in the lobby with a bunch of cops, and she's going to get up and leave and walk down there. And he looks at me and he goes, "How stupid is she? Why is she getting up and walking down the hallway? And there's a whole bunch of cops. Just grab a cop and take him with you. Are you stupid?" And I was like, "Welcome to horror movies."
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's what that's what I love. I love that movie. I watch it that's one of the ones that I watch every Thanksgiving now. It's always, that's like, as warped as it is. I watch Christmas Vacation every year. And now I watch Trains, Planes, and Automobiles and Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. So
nice.
But yeah, I love that movie. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool. And before we get to the backlot breakdown, has anybody ever done the Black Friday stay in line to get something for really cheap? Anybody?
I have done it once. My wife and I did it once. We got up early. I think it was to get a camera, and we froze to death. And we said, "Yeah, it's not worth it. We'll just get on Amazon, or I'll pay an extra $20 to do whatever it was." But that's when that's when it was Black Friday. Now it's now it's Black Wednesday, or whatever, or Thanksgiving night.
Digital Wednesday.
When they started doing Thanksgiving, and they started doing it, they started making people come in at 5:00 on Thanksgiving Day because they wanted to be the first people open. I was like, this is stupid. Let people, one day a year, let people spend with their families. Don't make them come in and deal with a bunch of crazy people trying to buy television.
Yeah. Well, that was the one thing I did. I did a Black Friday early morning to get a big TV at one point.
Right.
And then, but I would always, like every year for a lot of years, I would at least get out in the fuss when I didn't have to work. I would just go to the local mall or the outdoor mall, and just to kind of experience all the excitement. And then I'd also, one of the big things I used to do was get the DVDs or the Blu-rays that were like $2
I was fixing to say,
piece. Yeah.
That's one of the things I would do, but I wouldn't go out early to do it. But I would, we would hit, we'd probably get out about 10:30, 11.
Mhm.
And some of the good stuff would be gone, but some of the stuff I would just pick up because it's $2
cheap. Yep.
So
Yeah,
I'm
Best
gonna
Buy
go.
used to have those bins of like $5 and less. Yeah,
Yep.
you could find some great. Or Walmart would do it too, actually.
I have a hard time believing that Best Buy's not gonna start carrying DVDs again or
Well,
Blu-rays.
they have on their website now again, but they're technically like third party, but you can order them through the Best Buy website again. Of like 2 months ago, but yeah, it's not. I did a video actually on my channel right before they stopped. I did a 2-part video because like I was so sad.
Right.
It was like the death of physical media at Best
Well,
Buy.
it was so. I mean, that was one of my favorite things to do on a Tuesday was go and check and I'd hit up Best Buy and go see all the new whatever new release was coming out that day. And I can't remember who I was talking to, or maybe I was listening to a podcast. Oh, it was the Scout Taylor Compton one that you sent me earlier, that podcast that she did. And she was talking about how awesome behind the scenes used to be on the old DVDs and Blu-rays. And now, you're lucky if you get something for 15 minutes and these things cost twice as much as they used to.
Yeah.
Because some of them, you would get full length, almost full length behind the scenes as you would, the movie. So you get the whole editing stuff and, it just doesn't seem like they do that anymore. I think which one of you guys sent me the Terminator 2 that had the Terminator 2
Yeah, that was wild.
Ultimate Cut?
That was wild.
I think it was me.
I think it was, and I didn't know that. That was one of my favorite things to do when I got a DVD. Like DVDs, I don't know if Blu-rays had it so much, but I know when DVDs came out, they would always do, some kind of something lit up somewhere. So you would just sit there with your remote and just start moving it all around and hope somebody's eyes lit up or a light turned on or something, and you would get something crazy. So,
yeah, I think I wish that Terminator 2 because it was a little steel slip that would slide off. Yeah, it was.
No, those were always
disc edition.
Those were always good. Like I said, I love behind the scenes. I think the best behind the scenes I've seen is the one for Rob Zombie's Halloween. Have you guys seen that one yet?
That one's good. Yeah,
it's almost 2.5 hours long. I think it's longer than the actual movie.
One of my favorites is it was a digibook edition of The Exorcist on Blu-ray, and it has like a 3-hour behind the scenes documentary on like how they made it and stuff. That's one of my all-time favorite ones.
I think my all-time favorite documentary is The Abyss.
That's a good one too.
And it's that one's fantastic. Have you seen that one, Sprang?
No.
I need to let you borrow. Well, it's on the do you have the new Blu-ray or the new 4K of The Abyss?
No, I haven't seen The Abyss. It's one I'm missing.
Have you not?
Yeah, I gotta add it.
Wow, we need to watch. We may have to do a watch along on that one.
Yeah.
Now, should we watch the director's? We should make him watch both because there's a director's cut.
Yeah, there's like 3
and
different.
then there's the regular. And then there's the regular cut. But
yeah,
it's just cool where they shot it because they shot it in an old nuclear reactor.
Wow.
That they just filled up with water. Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's super. Well, I got completely off course again.
Well, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
It's really it's just the behind the scenes and the Black Friday stuff. Yeah, the DVDs were one thing that I would definitely. Yeah, we'd get out and go shop around. We just didn't get up early in the morning and be there at like 5 a.m. Like,
yeah,
my sister-in-law and a bunch of my bunch of girls I know that I went to high school. They would get up super early and go and do all that stuff.
Nice.
So
yeah, I never was able to do any of that, but I didn't really want to. Actually, I think in Colorado, especially, almost every job I had, I always had to work Black Friday anyway.
Yeah.
So, like the video store, we would do a huge sale just to get people to come. So we would open like 30 to 45 minutes earlier, and then we'd have like crazy, buy two kind of buy two get two free or whatever. Yeah. Just to get people to come up to our store instead of the other ones.
I used to do all kinds of crazy stuff like that, but yeah, I miss going to stores and going to Best Buy and seeing all the seeing what's new. I mean, it's fun to go to Walmart, but it was different going to Best Buy.
Yeah, for sure.
And Walmart seems to be so hit and miss with if they're going to get stuff
Yeah.
in or if they're going to put it out in time or whatever.
Well, the employees, sometimes it takes them, 2 weeks to put out an end cap or whatever. So
That's for sure. That's for sure.
yeah.
And then you got losers that steal the slip covers off of 4K Blu-rays.
Dude, I forgot to send you that. When you sent me that earlier, I looked it up on eBay. There's
The
like
slip
4
covers
guys out
for-
there that are selling slip covers for $17.
Mm-mm.
Starting bid is $17 on the Obsession slip covers
That's
that someone
crazy.
just snatched off there.
And speaking of physical media, real quick, I just saw what was it? I saw like a Reddit article or something, and this guy had like 7 Blu-rays, like a stack, and in the picture, and he's like, these are my heavy hitters, and I was like, what does he mean by that? Because it was like Goofy movie on Blu-ray and all that stuff. Some of the ones he had were like ridiculous titles that you wouldn't expect were out of print. Like Goofy movie on Blu-ray apparently sells for like $200 to $300 on eBay.
Yeah,
I
it's
looked
insane,
it up.
man.
He had some odd titles in there, but I was like, what? Those are $200? That's crazy. I forget which one was on there, but I was like, that movie of all movies was out of print? That's crazy. But anyway.
There's a bunch of them that are out of print that don't,
Yeah.
that don't do that. Now, I came across one because sometimes I'll buy, I'm bad about double dipping. So I bought Obsession when it came out on digital, and then I bought it on, I bought it on 4K when it came out too, which I need to stop doing, but.
No, you don't.
It was, yeah, right. Don't tell us, stop. You guys are
no,
bad
you don't, but
influences,
you're
man.
also not going to. So
yeah, so
I've
you're probably
told myself that too.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I had one disappear the other day.
Wow.
Like they lost evidently Apple or somebody had lost it for a while. And I say the other day, it's about a year ago. It was Lost Boys that I was like, I know I bought Lost Boys. And it wasn't it came back, but it was not in my library for like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
And I was like, I know I bought this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody was complaining about a whole TV series that they bought that off the PlayStation Store that they lost the rights to. So it's just
all that stuff.
They're out $70.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I say I'm not going to do that. But and then I get a thing from like today when my wife and I are on our way home. And she's like, "Why is it that every week there's like a $19.99 charge and then a $9 charge and then a $7 charge?" It's like, why is all this stuff coming out of Apple? And I always go, it's probably some streaming thing we have.
Yeah. and it's
she goes, oh really? And I said, yeah, it's streaming. I stream that movie. That's what I do.
Yep. And then you go, and I'm so thankful for you, Vic, for letting me explore
for being
this.
so supportive.
Yeah.
You are so supportive of all
physical media is going through a really tough time again right now. And it really tears me up internally to where I have Taco Bell.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Because I'm so sad. And then
Taco Bell lettuce.
And then I'm sick. So we're just going through a tough time. I need the physical media.
Oh my God.
You know what'll get us through it though is the backlot breakdown for Thanksgiving. Let's hear it.
It will. Let's do it.
Speaking of the
What do you got?
backlot, so Thanksgiving, let me just tell you guys, it's a fun one. Sprang and I did a live watch of this for Thanksgiving last year. Before I was full time on the show, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, we don't have a lot of like horror movies that are set around Thanksgiving. So we have like Poultrygeist, and I think there's another one called Thanksgiving Day.
I'm sorry, I can't let it go. Did you say Poultrygeist?
Yeah, Poultrygeist. Isn't that a Thanksgiving movie? Poultrygeist.
Well, it's Poltergeist. Or is there one actually called?
No, there's a movie. It's I think it's a trauma. I think it's a trauma film called.
Shut up.
No,
Wow.
have you never heard of that?
We just thought you were mispronouncing it.
I thought you were just trying to be funny and be
don't
like,
forget-
No. There's a legit movie, and the cover is like a picture of a really ugly like chicken.
Thanksgiving turkey. Don't forget either.
It's a trauma film by Lloyd Kaufman. But yeah, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. is a shock horror musical comedy. It came out in 2006.
That's
We used to
crazy.
sell it. It was a hard one to get at the video store, but
Oh, I gotta watch. That's got to be streaming somewhere.
And
but I
don't
think
forget,
there's another.
don't forget Uptown Girl.
Oh, does that take place during? Oh, you
It
know
does.
what? Spider-Man. No, wait. Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man takes place during Thanksgiving, doesn't it?
Thanksgiving. We
Planes-
have Peanuts Thanksgiving movie.
Planes,
But
Trains,
for
and
horror
Automobiles.
movies, I think isn't there, or maybe there's not a movie. I thought there was an old '80s movie called Thanksgiving Day, but I don't think there is. But yeah, really fun. Not only does Alex Armbruster play, he's like the main physical John Carver in the movie. But Eli Roth did a really cool thing to kind of throw people off the trail of like, because a lot of, especially my friends, when they watch horror movies, they're like, I guessed that in the beginning of the movie. Like, no, you didn't. So shut the heck up. But in this movie, like, he used multiple actors and actresses to like play John Carver just so that you could see, how they walk or how
Right.
they grab something just to throw people off the trail. So I thought that was really fun. There's a cat in the movie that apparently was such a good actor that Eli named him Leonardo DiCaprio. And that cat was also in the remake of Pet Sematary, which is cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
And going back to the fake trailers, because they're really fun, but I remember because Grindhouse came out in 2007, I think. So I mean, it took a good long while for them to finally like make a spin-off of this movie, and it's actually like a completely different version. Like Rob Zombie did one. It was called the Werewolf Women of the SS, and it starred Nick Cage as Fu Manchu. So that was really fun. If you go back and watch
How has that
it.
movie not gotten made yet?
I know. And then obviously Sherry Moon was in that trailer as well because Rob puts her in everything. Edgar Wright did one. He did a fake trailer for that called Don't. Hobo with the Shotgun was actually really fun. So there was a contest for fake trailers and people entered their short films or whatever for like a fake trailer. And Jason Eisner, who did Hobo with the Shotgun, he won that contest. So his fake trailer of Hobo with the Shotgun was in the Grindhouse movie. And then it got made into a real movie, but starred Rutger Hauer, and it was super fun.
Yep.
He did a movie. He actually did a short film that I don't know if you can find it now, but my brother and I used to watch it. It's only like 13 minutes long. And it's called Tree Venge, and it's about killer Christmas trees. That movie is so funny. Like one of the trees, one of the trees like jumps and like pretty much crushes like a baby, like just stomps a baby out, which sounds brutal, but it's just done so ridiculous. The other fake trailer was, obviously Machete, Robert Rodriguez, who also did Planet Terror for Grindhouse. And I think that was it. Yeah, Edgar Wright, Jason Eisner, Rodriguez, Rob Zombie, and then Eli Roth.
I think that's it.
And then the Thanksgiving fake trailer that Eli Roth did actually starred some people from his previous films. Jay Hernandez was in that. Jordan Ladd was in that. And then Eli was a small role in that one as well. But he tweaked it for the actual movie version.
Wasn't Michael Bean the sheriff?
I think, somebody famous was, but I just remember when like the fake trailers, because they played them before the Grindhouse movies, but then you could get them they released a Blu-ray that had both movies as they were played as a double feature, and which I own, and that bonus features has all the fake trailers on it.
Yeah.
You can watch them on YouTube too, though. I know I've seen them on there before. John Carver's costume was actually based on like a real person. Like John Carver was like a pilgrim on the Mayflower. So like they just had like John Carver masks that they recreated from, I think, a long time ago, paying homage to the real John Carver. This is actually the most critically acclaimed movie that Eli's ever done. It had an 83 critics Rotten Tomato score, and the audience score was a 77. So really solid.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super fun. And then just one last thing. the store where the Black Friday massacre happens actually pays homage to the Evil Dead. Well, Army of Darkness.
Oh, the S Mart?
Yeah, S Mart, which was featured in Army of Darkness when
Nice.
Ash goes to work at that store. But yeah, so that's he said Evil Dead 2 is like one of his favorite. He likes the Evil Dead franchise in general, but he paid homage to it with the S Mart. And then the comedian, really funny comedian who is also in Joker Folie à Deux, Tim Dillon, he actually is one of the employees at S Mart. So he had a little comedic role, which was pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff,
that was good.
guys.
Fun movie.
It's that's a fun movie. That movie's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely a must watch every year.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, Josh, as
Hey,
always.
you're welcome.
Thanks for being here. What you got going on, Matt? Anything you want to share with the audience?
Like I said, I'm still trying to get stuff going. I'm slow at doing stuff. I need to put up a couple of reviews, a couple of movies that I've seen, and I'm going to start doing. I think I finally figured out what I'm going to do for my YouTube channel. As I sit here, and this room looks fairly clean that you can see,
Nice.
but it looks like it just threw up posters and Funkos and everything else. So I think I'm just going to I'm going to redo this thing. So I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit at a time, a couple of different videos of what it looks like, what I'm going to do. I bought a couple of my local Regal sells posters for charity every year, and I got one of my favorite movies from last year's The Bride, so I got like a huge IMAX Bride poster that I'm trying to figure out how to hang. And then I saw somebody, I can't find it now, but somebody bought I can't afford to frame a giant IMAX poster.
Yeah.
But so I just Googled something and it popped up on YouTube that someone bought something that like tape that looks like a frame that you can stick on the outside. So I'm going to try and do that and stick it up on one of the walls behind me and just kind of get this thing going, because I've got to get a little bit of I'm kind of crammed in between all this crap that's everywhere. And then I'm going to try and I got a couple more unboxings, and I'm going to just try and be in general more active on YouTube, and I'm mostly I guess most of the stuff I post is on Instagram now.
Yeah, for sure.
I do on Facebook sometimes, and then I got to get on TikTok. So check out my Instagram is probably where you'll find me most. And I tend to do stories the most right now. So I just share a bunch of stuff that I'm interested in. And then I may start doing some, reviews. I just watched, have you guys ever seen Lords of Salem?
Yes.
Did you guys like it?
I did.
I thought it was one of Rob's like best. What was like his artsy film? Like
that's what I watched it the other night, and I thought, man, I was like, it's shot. It seems like it's shot completely different than any of his other movies. There's not that hectic, shaky camera and stuff. So I mean, I think I'm going to do a review. I've got to watch it again, and I think I'm going to put up a review of that one. I just got the Blu-ray off of eBay, so
I actually have an autographed Lords of Salem poster that I need to get framed. It's
by Greg Nicotero.
Greg Nicotero.
Yes, Greg Nicotero.
Ron Perlman. No, it's actually signed by Dee Wallace. She plays one of the witches, and then
nice.
Meg Foster plays the main witch.
Nice.
From They Live. But yeah, she's. I met her at a con, and she had those because the movie had just come out at that time.
That's cool.
So I have both of theirs. And it's a cool one too, because it's not like the normal yellow poster. It's like pink. It's got like a bright pink.
Is it 11 by? Is it an 11 by 17?
No, it's a weird size. It's like I can't even find a freaking frame for it. It's like 10 by 15 or something. Or
gotcha.
Yeah, so super.
I saw that one. If it's the one you're thinking about, I think I saw it on eBay the other day. That I'm gonna. My wife
it's a sweet.
Happy that I bought it.
Their autographs look really nice. They put like little drawings on it too. So
nice.
I was like, "Ooh, the witches."
So
very cool.
Yeah, that's about it though. That's about all I got going on. I'm sure I'll go watch Obsession again, because that seems to be the movie that I watch all the time now.
Absolutely.
Good.
So everybody follow Matt at @the_spooky with IE_com. So check out his Instagram. We'll of course have it in the show notes. of this episode, along with a link so you can watch Uptown Girl.
Yes, dude. If you don't put a link to Uptown Girl, I'll be very upset. And I need a filmography of everything Greg Nicotero has done, please.
There you go. There you go. Hey,
please link his IMDb, please.
Thanks again, guys. And thanks for watching, everybody. And go see Ice Cream Man in theaters if you can handle it after this conversation. And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to jump over to our website, moviesthatmakeyoupodcast.com. See all of our links. Follow us on Instagram so you never miss an episode, a live stream, or an interview. And until next time, keep watching movies.